most of the time.
Takes me a little bit to get set up. It's a one-man show.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, your tech crew is not best. Just like to let.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Great.
All right, we'll start.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here we go. We're here live with MayorTV on week 4, and this week we, as you can tell, maybe we're sitting here at the PoCo Rec Center. We got a hockey game going on in the back, and today I'm really glad to be joined by Ryan Clark, the Executive Director of the PoCo Sports Alliance. But as more of you are coming online, if I could ask everybody a favor, please share this post with whoever you can right now on your Facebook so we get more people watching it. And remember to use your emojis throughout, whether you like the answers or you hate the answers. Use that to give us feedback so we can watch what's going on here. So we'll get started.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to talk about the rec center here. We're going to talk about sport in Port Coquitlam. Give us your questions. I'll take a look at them in a moment. We'll answer whatever you have. We'll have a conversation. If you have other questions outside of what's going on in sport, please ask that as well, and I'll do my best to answer those. So I'm just going to turn down our volume here because it's a little distracting.
No problem.
Okay. So Ryan, Executive Director of PoCo Sports Alliance, why don't you tell us a little bit about what this PoCo Sports Alliance, for those who don't know what it is?
No, absolutely. You know why this all happened. You know, it was actually fantastic, and that's why it's so exciting. You know, when council and the school district and all the clubs got together a bunch of years ago, got excited about sport in the community, and said, "Listen, what are we trying to do here? Let's be one of the best sporting communities." And in fairness, everybody realized it wasn't sport just for sport's sake. It was actually sport for the whole community. It's about social, it's about physical well-being, it's about all those things. It's about retention and recruitment of people to the community and ensuring they stay. A healthy sport environment, good facilities, top healthy clubs, all of that feeds into, you know, good for the local businesses, good for all the facilities, good for all the families to stay here and recreate and enjoy sport. We want everyone to have a 4 seasons experience when they engage in sport here in our community.
Yeah, I know one of the big parts of it was a lot of people age out of sport. Right, they start when they're younger.
Yep.
There's this really, I remember we had someone in, there's this peak about 12 or 13 years old.
Yep.
And then it starts to peter off a little bit.
Sure.
And then come high school, if they don't go on to the next level, there was challenges of continuing.
Sure.
And I know one of the goals is to have a lifelong sport experience.
Absolutely, and there's no reason. I know that is one of the first big bumps you get to. Everyone's participating, then you hit 12, 13 years old. Because then that whole thing of high performance starts coming into, and that can be a bad word sometimes, because people suddenly feel pressures that if I'm not going to be the next greatest in the world, that maybe I should stop and get into other things. And that is totally false. I think that's what we try to echo here. Mm-hmm. We do have programs and stuff to support those athletes that are going to move on to post-secondary, whether it's college in Canada or in the US, or maybe have professional aspirations, but we also have a ton of programs that are there to service those recreational level athletes who just want to go out and have a great time. And I want that bronze level player in whatever sport, whether it be a field sport or ice sport or gym sport, to have the same experience that gold player has.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want them to experience the whole thing, and that's a big part of why they can stay in sport the whole way, because it's also about making friends and having those great memories for you to have in your memory bank years from now.
Well, and I think one of the things in PoCo, sport has a phenomenal history in this community.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those pillars that the community has been built around.
Yes.
Whether it's hockey or lacrosse or
football.
Yeah,
provincial
football.
champions.
Yeah.
Basketball provincial champions.
Yeah.
Volleyball were usually
wasn't the year that I was there.
No. What position would you have played?
In football, I played
QB. You're tall enough.
Yeah, no, that would have been good, but no, I played tight end on offense and what's the on the offensive line the end.
Receivers?
No.
I would say be long and jump.
Defense.
Could you jump? If you could jump, I'd throw it high and let you jump.
Yeah, no, I was the tight end because I was taller.
Okay.
Although I was $125, so I'm not sure if that was a good strategy. That's why we weren't provincial champions, baby.
Sure. Well, turned it around well now.
Yeah. But so tell me some of the stuff that the Sports Alliance is up to, specifically about expanding sport and highlighting our athletes.
One of the things when we first landed, what we found was people needed a bunch of things. One, they needed to, which is a big thing people are going to see in the community coming really soon, like I'm talking in the next bunch of weeks, home team signage. I used to have the opportunity to live down I'm from here, but lived in the U.S. for quite a while. When I traveled in and out of towns of cities, when you pulled into certain towns, you could see it was the home of the whatever sport or whatever team it was. We're going to be able to bring that now with the blessing of council and complete positive support from all the clubs. Have that at our major sport facilities here in town, which is going to be very exciting. People start seeing this popping up in the spring to give those players really a sense of pride and a sense of, yeah, this is our hometown, yeah, go. And then also, I saw that people needed good meeting spaces. We've developed a great partnership with School District 43. We have meeting rooms that all our club teams can use at no cost. Comfortable meeting rooms, flat screens, leather couches, boardroom tables, plus a workout room with 24 spin bikes in it, big 70-inch flat screen that our teams can go and use at no cost and train and become, they can bond and they can become fitter and faster and all the rest. Again, that's for every level of team. So we're trying to give them these support services that they can access easily and quickly. I think with the meeting rooms, when I found that they didn't have good places to go plan, now we've given them a place where they can actually go plan and talk and discuss and get excited about their teams and really and synergize with each other.
Yeah, and one of the great things you did there is you brought in the business community to help sponsor some of that.
Yeah, I mean, we reached out and said, hey, and this is one of those great partnerships. Here's city, here's local business, here's school district, all working together to support people in the community. So off we went, and we got it done. Thank you to PharmaSave and the Business Improvement Association for diving in. And we've got other ones lining up, which is really exciting. Yeah,
and if people don't know, that's at Pitt River Middle School. So when Ryan and the city and the school district really came together at Pitt River Middle School and they had to rebuild it, part of the provincial government new partnerships is to have 10 to 15% of the new school build be for a community use. And so we went right away to the school district and said, hey, this will be a great place for the PoCo Sports Alliance and everything that you just described, and they were on board with it. So now, we got better use of the school gymnasium, all those other assets you talked about, and there's great fields around there. And there's a lot of potential in the future to bring that together, and it's half a block from downtown.
Half a block from downtown, new recreation complex. I mean, to say the future is bright is an understatement here. I mean, plus the amount of engagement that I found when I landed here, and I've been fortunate to live around the world for sport, and after decades of being involved at landing here and seeing the engagement level is unbelievable. It's not normal, and I think people may take it for granted here. The level of volunteerism and pure community enthusiasm, that's not normal anymore. We have a special thing, and we got to keep harnessing that and keep riding that.
Well, and one of the things we talk about in our community is that small town charm.
It lives.
Right? And so the census, I try to put stats and census together in there. The census came out today for 2015. It was released today. So we're almost 59,000 people.
Yes.
So we're pretty close to 60,000 people, but we still have that small town charm.
Yeah.
And I really, I think there's many aspects to it, a downtown, that sort of thing, but I think sport has a huge aspect in that small town charm.
Absolutely.
For what you just said. So we have one hockey association.
Yeah.
We have one soccer association,
right.
one ringette, one, so it doesn't matter if you grew up in Citadel or you grew up in Lincoln Park or up in Wellington or over in the Hastings area. You all come together and you play. So when you're in all these elementary schools, and you get to middle school, hey, I know people.
Yes.
It breaks down the barriers. Exactly. And then you get up to Riverside or Terry Fox and you're like, hey, I know people.
Yeah, you couldn't have designed it better.
Yeah. I know when I was in school, there was only Terry Fox.
Yeah.
So, there wasn't this South Side, North Side rivalry. We all came together.
I found out about that when I landed,
Yeah, well, there is a little bit.
There's a little bit, but it's not bad. It's
not as much in sport.
No.
Right?
They have to all play together.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they come to club sport.
One of the things that I think that was done really well right from the beginning with the Sport Alliance is it wasn't about community sport, it wasn't about private sport, and it wasn't about school sport. It was about all sport.
Everybody.
So this is, I think, the first time, and this is why I think we have organizations probably contacting you, contacting the cities from all across Canada. But what are you guys doing there? We want to copy what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And I think one of those key pieces is having all three of those players sitting at the board table talking about sport together.
Absolutely. And it's funny, selfishly, we get calls from different consultants and people around the whole province asking, hey, what's your template? Show us your playbook. And we always say, no, not yet. We're growing our thing, and this is about us. This is about, again, to say it, home team. This is about us making Port Coquitlam great. We'll start sharing when we're ready, but right now we're building our model really well, and it's exciting. And as you said, though, it's not just sport for sport's sake. The social platform that comes from sports, walk out onto any field or ice or gym when a game's going on, like tonight behind us, a hockey game going on. look what's really going on there. It's not just the people on the ice playing sport. It's the athletes
Yeah.
hugging and high-fiving after goal. It's the parents who are here socializing and cheering and talking about things. And then it's after the game. Everybody goes out for a coffee or dinner or out in the community. It's about bringing people outside and into the community. And that's one of the big, powerful things that sport can do. And that's why it's exciting to grow it here in the city.
Yeah, and one of the other aspects I remember when we were planning this, and we brought in speakers from all over Canada, really, to talk about how sport is evolving and growing. And one of the things that really struck home with me, and I know you're working toward it, and this is a huge aspect, is how can the different sports communicate with each other so that the 12-year-old girl doesn't have soccer on Saturday morning, ringette or hockey on Saturday morning, and some other sport on Saturday morning at 12 years old, and now they got to make a choice.
Correct.
Which one do I have to go with? Why can't we have hockey in the afternoon, soccer in the morning, and baseball on Sundays, or whatever, right?
It's funny you say it. It's interesting you say that, because that is the big thing in sport right now. There's kind of too much of an early specialization, or I've got to choose one. And it was funny, I was actually in a round table the other day with an owner who owns San Francisco Giants. Steve Nash was one of them, a few others, in a kind of an intimate setting and conversation. They talked to Eden about it, saying how multi-sport is so important, getting everybody involved in multiple sports, not specializing so early. Funny, coming from them who deal with professional sports athletes every day, they said no, multi-sport. We got to get back to that. We got to find a way. So right now we're just supporting all the sports, making sure they're all healthy. Then, as you said, the collaboration now needs to come. Okay, don't overlap or try to take too much from each other, share each other.
Yeah, and that's what we learned. We had the, at the time, he was a professor at the University of Calgary. He was the head of sport development for the Olympics, for Canadian Olympics. And he said they studied Germany, because Germany really, in the Olympics, for the size of their country, is really always up there against the Americans and others. And how come they can compete when they have such a small population in comparison to Russia and China and the United States? And what they really learned was that kids don't start to specialize in their sport until they're 16, 17, and 18. So they're playing 5 sports going up, because we got hockey going on here. Hockey's a very linear sport. Back and forth, back and forth. You don't get cross training. You don't get like basketball where you're going back and forth, side to side. So you have that cross training, and you create an overall better athlete, and those athletes will percolate up. And talking about that, one of the things that I love that you've done is highlighted our young athletes that have gotten scholarships. So maybe you can share some of that with us.
I was fortunate enough that I was an okay student, but I was lucky to get a sports scholarship, and I ended up going to the University of Illinois. And I remember that getting me a great business education. And I thought, when there's that opportunity for people in our hometown to get their education paid for, and sport helps them get paid for, because we all know universities are kind of costly now. If sport can help pay the bill, let's make sure we're helping our hometown kids get those scholarships. If they need that extra push, extra information, find ways. So one of the many support programs we do is lending. When a club comes to us, whether it be lacrosse or whether it be soccer, whether it be volleyball, when they come to us and say, hey, can you help these athletes in the process of getting a scholarship, be it in Canada or down at the big NCAA schools in the US, we do that, and that's been helping a lot. And it's great to see them go on, because then they stand up as markers. The little ones see that and go, oh, maybe I can be that one day, and that keeps them in and keeps them driving forward, which is great to see.
Yeah, and you just started that, was it last year, I think?
Yeah, last couple
2 or 3 years. We've had, I don't know, it seems like 15 to 25 youth that we celebrate, we congratulate them, we shake their hand, we tell them that they're reps for us, leaving Port Coquitlam, going out. But we also, at the time, you plant the seed that we expect that you're going to come back. And not only teach, but you're going to talk about the experience. Good and bad, because there's going to be rough days and positive days and championships and defeats, but you're going to come back and talk about the experience. They
come back, we've had players just locally, just recently in last year, whether they're going on to SFU, whether they're going to UBC or Trinity. We've had players go back to McGill and even over to Memorial, way back in Atlantic Canada, University of Ottawa, but then we've also had players going on to University of Oregon, Penn State, University of Iowa, University of Nebraska, University of Arizona, all the big name brands down in the US. We've had local people just going to school here at Riverside, Terry Fox, and Archbishop Harney all going down, representing our community right here, and that's exciting. And they'll shine as examples. They'll come back and feed in the future, whether it's on a board, as coaches, or just as a talker, to come in and say, look what's possible, look what can happen.
Yeah, and they'll bring those coaching skills back too.
Absolutely.
Right? They're getting the top coaching in the world at those universities, because they're Big Ten universities, and they're going to come back and be able to then cultivate our next generation.
They'll cultivate. When you're the parents and you see that and go, okay, I'm going to keep my kids staying in sport longer, keep them healthy, and keep them working, and I think that's great. And that's the reason why we do that. We don't do that just to help these high performance athletes. It's not really about them. It's about what they can provide back to the whole community. Yeah,
and you see those little kids, some of them come out to that event, and they look at these high schoolers going off, and they're just in awe, because they might as well be going to the NBA.
Yeah.
For all they know, right? They just hold them up there, which is great.
Absolutely. I think the system, as you spoke to too, about size of town, we're at the right size. Bigger is not better. I talk to friends of mine who work in Olympic sport in the U.S., and they're so big they can't get everybody on the same page. If you can get everybody in a good system, we can do that here. Especially with all the new facilities coming up here. Yeah,
and that's where you get to bigger cities where they've got 2 hockey associations or 4 hockey associations.
They can't get everyone on the same page.
No, and so it's hard for people to percolate up through the system.
And they battle each other. Here they can all collaborate. Collaboration is real and it's possible here, which is great.
And starting at that young age, that probably will help out with lifelong sport. Because most of us as athletes, few of us had the ability to play some college sport.
Yep.
But then after that, there's only
it comes crashing
micro percent that's actually going to get paid to do something.
Absolutely, it comes to a crashing halt. And then you got to pay people to come watch you play. Like, how do I bribe this person, my spouse, to come watch me?
Usually just your spouse at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Parents don't even come anymore.
Parents stop even coming. No. We saw you when you were young.
Yeah. But that's that part about how do we keep growing it. I know one of our challenges in this community is. We have, in some sports, more people wanting to play sport than we actually have facilities to host them.
Yes.
Which is a good challenge to have, but it's a challenge we have right now.
Absolutely.
Like soccer, for example.
Soccer,
almost is capped out.
We could add multiple fields. Yeah. We could add multiple fields, especially with our weather. Now, our weather plays a factor in that, because grass can only go so long. Right now, not good for sure. It doesn't matter what field you have. But you're correct.
Yeah.
Gym space, ice space. The new recreation complex is so exciting, because that's going to give capacity to ice sports, whether that be hockey, whether that be figure skating, whether that be ringette. It goes on. All that stuff is great. The fields too, and then even actually adding a gym in the new recreation complex. That's going to help out your basketballs and your volleyball. All that stuff is needed. But hey, great news. Yeah. We're bursting. It's not like we're going, oof, we need to downsize facilities. Good news, we need more facilities, but it does need to be addressed.
Yeah, and our challenge, we're geographically, there's no more room to put another soccer field in.
No, we gotta
maximize. How do we take grass fields, convert them to turf, because we get, I can't remember what it is, but it's 5 or 6 times more playability on a turf field.
Yeah.
So how do we...
You're not resting it.
Yeah, and then we've put up we've got more lacrosse boxes in the community, and lacrosse, especially outdoor lacrosse, and field lacrosse is taking off, which is great, because then we're using our soccer fields in the summer, which we don't use as much.
Yep. We're such a strong lacrosse town. We should say the Saints Minor Lacrosse is an unbelievable club. Provincial champions all the time at all levels, and they send players off to post-secondary all the time.
Yeah.
Model club.
In male and female. And the female lacrosse over the last 5-10 years has really elevated.
You're going to see that blooming. I know, again, it's one of the fastest growing sports around. They sit in a good position right now. They're going to benefit when all these new things keep growing up here in our community.
Yeah. Well, let's take a second to talk about the rec center.
Okay.
I just grabbed the flyer.
That was a nice line in.
and with Facebook Live, you don't have the ability to do fly-in graphics or anything like that. So graphics are held up by the person here.
Sounds.
So we just announced we're going to have our groundbreaking in March, which is really exciting.
Very exciting.
We're some of the amenities, I'll just read them off because I'll forget some. So there's going to be a new leisure pool, 3 ice sheets, a new Terry Fox library, games room, lounge, and kitchen, fitness center, gymnasium, cafe, lots of multi-purpose rooms, child minding area, and an outdoor space with seating, sports courts, amphitheater, and spray park connected to it. And it'll have, I think it's about 450 underground parking stalls. And this will all be connected in this grand corridor in the middle of it, which the goal was that this was to bring the community together.
Yeah.
Not, like you keep saying, not just for sport.
No.
But
it's a hub.
It's a hub.
It's a social hub.
One of the things that in the planning world these days is a term that's used a lot, is giving the ability for people to crash into each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're literally walking like, hey, Ryan, I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? And you have that interaction.
How things happen.
Instead of having this interaction.
Family, exactly.
Right?
Families get together.
Yeah.
So that sport draws people in, as you said, then they crash into each other. Some social event happens, people go to dinner, they go to coffee, they engage in local businesses, they start doing things together.
Yeah.
Exactly. Rather than sitting at home and just going, okay, here's whatever's on at Netflix, and that's what I'm going to do all day.
And I'm going to see how everybody's doing via Facebook.
Exactly. This is actually real.
So there is I'm just going to read out the construction schedule, because there are, we're going to do the groundbreaking in March. We don't know the exact date just yet, but stay tuned for that. That'll be very exciting. So we'll start the first phase in June, and that's going to be it's going to be outside the existing Terry Fox Library. That's where the pool and the fitness center is going to go. That's going to start in June. In August, right after that, in the front parking lot, we'll basically be cutting that all off, and that's where the first sheet of ice is going to go.
Good.
And then a second piece of ice, which will start in October. Oh, sorry, I got that backwards. The first phase is the first sheet of ice in the front left corner. The second sheet of ice will go where the front parking lot is.
Yep.
That'll start in early spring. And then in October, we start the aquatics facility on the other side. Because what we have to do,
Yep.
because we want to maintain our sport here, is we have to keep 2 sheets of ice open at all time.
Yeah, I think
or 2 arenas open at
that's
all
incredibly
time.
responsible. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just great.
It causes us a little bit longer of a construction period. It's easier just to flatten the whole thing and get it up, but sport's too important to take a whole year off.
No, I think that shouldn't be understated. What the city has been able to do, the fact that the construction is going to go longer, but you allow the teams that are here to not suffer. Hey, we're going to be down for a year or two, which can decimate. I've seen other cities do that to teams, and it decimates a club. These clubs, as much as it'll be a little messy around here, there's no real business interruption. They still, they're still playing their games, playing all their stuff, and off they go. They can still take registrations just the same. Yeah,
exactly. And then those will be open. Those 3 things will start to come open in 2019.
Yep.
And around the end of 2019, the beginning of 2019, we'll start the interior spot. So we'll start to connect those 2 sides together with the gymnasium and the corridor and all that sort of stuff. And we're hoping the completion for everything should be June 2021, but things will open between 2019, 2020, and 2021.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So the other thing that you're gonna see is there are going to be a lot of construction impacts.
Yep.
I was chatting with our seniors the other day, and because they're going to the senior center is going to get displaced, and we're doing our best to. So the front door of the rec center is going to be closed off soon, and you're going to have to come in through a side door, and the back door will become, so there's going to be those sort of things. I use the analogy of we're a big family.
Yeah.
Right, I think we feel that in PoCo, whether it's with the sports and the seniors, we're one big family.
Everybody knows everything.
Everybody's kind of like 2 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
And this is like a big, massive home renovation that we're doing.
Yeah.
And so during anybody that's ever done a home renovation,
the big living room is getting done.
The whole house is getting
living
done.
room, washroom, everything else. The whole house.
So we're going to gut the kitchen and all this sort of stuff. And while we're doing it, it's a little awkward. It's not always the most convenient. You got to wash the dishes in the bathroom for a while, sort of thing. And so we're going to do our best with signage. I know our staff is coming out. We got these flyers that are here at the rec center, talking about what to expect during the construction in the first phase here. One of the biggest impacts is going to be the parking.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
No doubt.
Starting in March of this year, you see us pointing because we're here at the rec center, but the front parking lot will be taken out. Nobody will be able to park there anymore.
Yep.
And some of the parking over by the Terry Fox Library, just some, the first couple rows, will also be taken out later on this year. So the West Coast Express parking that we have in the back corner that people can use during the day, we're actually going to move the West Coast Express parking out of here.
Okay.
So that when people park to come to the rec center, they'll be parked in the back corner by the West Coast Express, where the West Coast Express parking is, in the back, and then the side along Kingsway. Okay. And so we're going to make a more predominant entrance along Kingsway, more predominant entrance on that side of the building. We're going to look at some street parking configuration that we can do.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be inconvenient. There is no doubt about it. But we should have the same number of stalls available. They just won't be at the front door. So.
But when this gets done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, 450 parking stalls underground. So no
That's
longer you lugging your ringette or your hockey bag in the rain, in the snow.
Day like today, snowy evening like today, you're dry.
Yeah.
You drive in, and your kids are safe and dry.
Yeah.
And
so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a couple of questions here from different people. Let's see, we got some here. So Rob asked, what does the Sports Alliance provide to their member clubs?
Do we have a half an hour or an hour to go through? That's a good question. Thanks, Rob. Well, here's what we do. We have about 20. I've counted just the other day, actually, in prep for this. We have 24 different support programs. Everything what we talked about with home team signage to meeting rooms to conditioning rooms, all at no cost. We help do strategic plans for teams. We also do sponsorships, grants, help them out with their grant writings. We do media. We do provincial championship recognitions, national champion recognitions, athlete recognitions. We put on one of the funnest ones we do, I should say. When a team wins a provincial championships, this is one of the fun ones. I think you'd agree too. When a team wins a provincial championships or an athlete wins a provincial or national championships, we bring them into City Council. We do the certificates of recognition, and they get to come in and be part of a City Council session, which for a lot of kids, they've never seen that, and they get to come in. I know with you guys, I think one of the funnest things is, you'll come into your usual Tuesday meets now, and here the room is just packed because it's all the team has come in. They get to walk up, they shake your hand, they get to be in front of everybody, and then they get their recognitions. We get a big picture with their banner, and it's really funny to me because then they leave, and then you can kind of see all the rest of council go, oh, now back to business, now back to the real business at hand. But that's one of the services. I can go on and on and on about all this. We got, again, about 24 different types of services we provide. I also do after-school programs. We buy equipment, gym equipment for teams so they can deliver after-school programs. We also help fund the coaches that do that. And I can go on and on.
One of the things that I remember, one of the first things that you did, because you've got so much experience in this in your background, is you helped the clubs rewrite their gaming grants.
Yes.
Right? Because you're somewhat of an expert in that. You help them tweak it and position and that sort of stuff. And was it soccer that one of the sports went up by like 20 grand a year, something like that? Higher.
There's a few that went up being higher than that, and that's new money into the community that they get to go spend on their teams. Yeah. So it's great to see that, and that's one of the things. More we can go get these grants to bring them into the clubs. And again, this is going right to the clubs. We don't take a chunk of it. We don't take a percentage of it. It goes right into the club's bank account. Yeah.
Great question. So keep asking your questions for those of you that are online with us. So Cindy just said that you're a superstar.
Well, thanks, Cindy. Checks in the mail.
I'll
send that on. Thank you, Cindy.
But she has a tough question for you.
Oh, great.
When's the next turf field coming?
Oh, good one.
Yeah, I'll ask you that too.
So you want to ask that one too? To say that we've got some neat things. I probably can't say it, but believe me, if anybody knows me, I'm like a dog on the bone on this one. I will flat out pass out trying to get this done, and I guarantee you I will find a way to get another turf in this city. I don't know. I've got a few oars in the water right now that are pretty promising, but we'll see. It's going to happen at some point. It'll be exciting.
Absolutely. Rob also asked me where I got my awesome sweatshirt from.
PoCo Minor
Baseball.
Stole it out of their supply closet. You went in, you broke into the concession. Don't you have the master key that gets you in everywhere?
No, I wish. We didn't even have the master key get in here. That's why we started a couple minutes late.
We didn't get in the media box here. No problem.
No, I got it. I threw out the opening pitch for baseball, which I do, I think, every year. And this year they gave me a sweatshirt. So thanks, PoCo Minor Baseball.
Yeah, PoCo Minor Baseball, great club at Thompson Park. Hey, and kudos. We should also say one of the things we do also, working with you guys to help recognize where capital funding should be. That's one of the other services we provide. Baseball is going to get a good help this year, and Thompson Park's going to get the help it needs to get the field back up to top quality, which is good.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It's a $750,000 investment into Thompson Park because we know the drainage issues there. And so with that amount of money, we're redoing all the park. So it's a Class A type field standard, so it's going to be phenomenal.
And at Thompson Park, if you haven't been there, if you go out on a summer day, it was nice and warm, it's really a neat environment. Minor baseball does a great job. You put your lawn chair out on the outfield right behind there, put your feet up, have a non-alcoholic beverage, and sit there and watch the teams play.
Yeah, because you can see both diamonds.
You see both diamonds. What a great place!
Yeah.
I mean, what a neat place to be. So
Surrounded
it's great
by
to see them
trees.
get their grass fields up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Susan, maybe it's Jeff, but it could be Susan. Jeff doesn't have Facebook, so he's always on his wife's account,
Sure.
and he's always like, hey, this is Jeff, not Susan.
They're not the same person. Okay.
Well, they are. Maybe
Okay,
they are.
yeah, they are.
They're friends of ours,
Okay.
so I give them a
Okay.
hard time. But they asked, will the library be open during construction? Great question, and absolutely, the library will be open. In fact, the library is the last building to be demolished. So we'll have the whole facility open, and I'm going to show you a little close-up. We're delayed here, but right here is where the library is. So we actually build the whole building around the library. The new library will be right here. Once we open up the new facility, then we'll take this out, the old library, and we will put the landscaping in. So hopefully you can see that. I can see it's a little far away, but the answer is yes, it'll be open the whole time, so that's really good.
You know, one of the neat things on the library, though, what I really like with the library being part of the new rec complex, when you drop off your kids, especially the teenage kids, when you drop them off here to go to their practices or when parents drop them off, you can drop them off early or have them stay a little later because they'll be in a safe environment and they can go do their studies in the library. So, you know, if they have you need to drop them off early and don't have enough practice for another hour or so, boom, they walk into the library and they can get their study done. Or if they finish practice early.
I love that. How old's your child?
He's young. He's 3. I'm an old
Yeah,
man.
3.
He's
No,
not there yet.
he's
I'm just
3.
like, he's
No,
3.
I laugh like a child's gonna go do their studies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
They're gonna find their buddies and go hang out.
Probably, but at least they can say they're going to go do their studies. They can go and do whatever else they do. But that opportunity is there, which I think is great.
Oh, for sure.
You know, if you need to stay, like, hey, mom and dad can't pick you up for another hour, and I know you finished your hockey practice or bring that, no problem. Go study in the library for an hour or so, or grab yourself a. I guess you don't grab coffee. Maybe
we'll have a cafe. So,
we'll have a cafe.
But also for parents.
Yes.
You know, if they're dropping their kids off at a practice and they don't want to watch their kid practice, whatever, they can go into the library.
Yes.
There's magazines and books and computers, interactive, all that great stuff.
That social hub is so huge. I think that's going to be the excitement.
Well, and that's what we
Something
heard
for everyone.
That's what we heard right in the beginning. Is this had to be not a rec center or a sports center? It had to be a community hub. So one of the debates we had is, do you keep the library there, or do you move the library more into downtown? And we thought, no,
connect it.
In fact, the library, people don't realize this. You might be thinking at home like, oh, libraries are dead. We've got Google now. Why do we need a library? The circulation, so the number of things taken out of a library, is actually increasing every year. And the number of people that go through the doors at the library are more than any sport that's played here.
Really?
Yep.
Still.
Yeah, there's well over 100,000 people. No, it's all some people multiple times.
Yeah.
But 100,000 people go through the library doors every year. And it's increasing, actually. It's not decreasing.
I think it's important to have all those elements.
Yeah.
You don't want to have everybody sitting in their silos. Everybody needs to be sitting together as one. If you have sport over here and library over here and someone else over here, no, put them all together so everybody's not operating in a silo.
Yeah.
Let's get everyone together.
And the library, Susan Jeff just reminded me that the library is also expanding in what they rent out.
Yeah.
Books. We know books, DVDs, CDs, I guess, for some people. They rent out now ukuleles.
Huh? I didn't know there was a demand. Go figure.
Apparently there is.
What, for little kids?
No, for adults.
There's a ukulele.
There's a ukulele club, and they donated, and now we rent them out.
If they get into musical instruments donation, great.
Yeah,
that's good too.
And there's some libraries that actually do tool rentals. Right, because you got a lot of people that live in apartments down here.
Yeah.
They don't all need to have a drill.
No, that's true.
But on a weekend, they might be putting up some pictures or something like that, and they need to rent a drill for anything.
Sense.
So there's different things that libraries are evolving to stay active with the times, and it's not just books. So, yeah,
absolutely. I know a lot of them have computer terminals and hubs too for people, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, people who don't maybe have access to internet, they just landed, they need a place.
Totally. So let me go to questions here. It is Jeff. See, it says Susan bracket Jeff.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Sports Alliance is on the right track, and they're doing a first club job. How can we get more sport? How can we get PoCo Arts and Culture Alliance going? Arts and PoCo really needs funding instead of cuts. Arts and sports and PoCo should be partnered in council instead of opposing priorities.
I'll jump in and then you dive in. Actually, you're bang on, right? And we actually are trying to work very closely with arts. There's the City Banner Contest, which happens each year, which they invited us into, which was really nice. But there's going to be the first annual Sport Awards is going to be this year. PoCo Sports Awards is going to be May 26th at Terry Fox Theatre.
Excellent.
And we're going to actually engage the arts groups because we're going to want some music. We're going to want some, obviously, art going up in the atrium area. We're going to be engaging them too, as well as with the heritage groups. All that's coming down the pike. So there's lots of room for collaboration we're finding. And you're absolutely right. If we can bring more events to town, which is one of the things this guy's tasked me to do, let's engage them, just like the PoCo Grand Prix.
Yeah.
You know, the PoCo Grand Prix was a great thing. Yes, there was a big international bike race going on, but if anybody came into the epicenter of that, there was a whole bunch of music and art stuff going on, and kid stuff as well, all going on. That's everybody playing in the same sandbox, which is great.
Yeah, and I know when we were putting together the Arts and Cultural Plan, we really referenced the Sport Alliance, and I know you met with our consultant to talk about what you're doing for sport, and how could we model that for the arts community.
Yep.
And we've hired a new arts manager, and so we'll hopefully over this next year, we'll start to really see that percolate up.
Absolutely.
And I know, Jeff, you won't let me forget about it. So Dave wanted to ask, we got the PoCo, or we got the Pirates behind us. What's the score? So, Dave, I have been looking over the shoulder.
I don't know.
And it's 8 minutes to go in the second period, and we're down by 3-0.
Oh, but there is a lot of Guns N' Roses music and Def Leppard being playing on when there's a pause. I've got all the 80s and 90s hair band metal going, so that's good to see.
Yeah, and I'm sure the parents.
I'm
sure the parents are enjoying that.
Yeah, they probably assume that we're the ones playing the music in here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, maybe. Yeah, they're looking at us.
Go,
why is there back to the game? Okay, we've got a most sensational question here by I think the most beautiful person in Port Coquitlam.
Really?
Yeah, my wife.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, Aaron.
Okay.
Does the PoCo Sports Alliance ensure equity in facilities and fuel usage for both females and males?
Yes.
Well, that was a long answer.
That was it. Yes, but here's I got to quantify. Good question and fair question. When we rent out our facilities, so let's use the Pit River, our meeting rooms and our spin bike rooms. I would say, if anything, I know from the conditioning room where we have these 24 spin bikes, and the girls teams and the female teams, including women's soccer, uses this more than the guys do. So they actually have it predominantly. And I'm talking girls lacrosse, girls soccer, girls rugby. They're all using it way much more than the guys. We don't ask really. I know when we go to rent out, whoever comes to us first and wants it, that's it. There's no priority that way. Whoever's first comes to us.
Right.
But yeah, I found, I would think even we talked a little bit about university scholarships and play. Yeah. The chances for females in